Good afternoon, and welcome to Blind Builds with Blind Prime. I'm your host, Blind Prime, and for today, we will be teaching you how to disconstruct and reconstruct your Transformers Generations Legacy Wrek and Rule Collection, the Amazon exclusive Master-Dominus. Here he is, with all of his bony glory. Yeah. He's got many bones to pick. There we go. Make sure he's all lined up. All right, so before we really get into this, I'm going to showcase something that I discovered that actually, it's kind of a mistransformation, but it's still neat. And then we'll get into the disassembly and reassembly. And if you like what you see here and you want to see more, please do all the things below everyone else asks you to do. And if you have anyone in your life who is suffering from vision loss, please point them in the direction of my channel. I may be able to help them. Who knows? But, at least we could try. All right, let's get into this. So first off, I want to show you this little transformation I discovered. It's kind of stupid. But anyway, all you have to do is just flip him around, his head around, and his legs around, so that the backbone of the body is now on the front. And I'm like, this is wrecking mode. This is his wrecker mode. And get this arm back on there. I just like how these things fall off. All right, here we go. Anyway, I just wanted to showcase that. He's got all these cool spikes on the front. He could totally just body slam into the side of a wall or something, I imagine, and just take it down with how sturdy this is. Okay, that was all. So let's disassemble this guy, and then I'll teach you how to reassemble him. So just rip everything off. You actually don't need to take the legs away from the hip, so you can just set that grouping off to the side. You just yank his shoulder off, and then you yank off his other shoulder, and then go ahead and fold down his BDSM mask so that he doesn't have to see what happens next. All right, now let's get to disassembling this. So go ahead and remove the arm from the head, and go ahead and remove the other arm from the pelvis, the little tail end that we had it connected to. Okay, cool. Make sure that tail is folded out completely, and now we come over here to the arms. Let's go ahead and take the bottom segment, the one that has the siege port on it, away from this bit that feels like a foot, because it is the foot, and then fold that peg up into the back of the foot to make kind of a heel. And then take the bit that you unplugged and turn it around and plug it onto the top. And then you rotate it around so that its bump lines up with this bump here, because it's supposed to seem to be an entire bone segment. And it does the job. It does the job a little bit. So that's one foot done. We're just going to set this foot off to the side. Okay, now this one, we're going to follow through the same steps. We're just going to find the end that has the 5mm port, unplug it from the bottom of the mastodon foot, fold that peg into a heel, then take this bit that you unplugged and plug it into the top. There we go. And this one sucks. This is a terrible plug. And I wish I still had some of my sticky tack laying around here. I usually do have a little bit, but I don't have any right now. Anyway, it's going to plug in there, but for me, this is one of those points that I dislike, because the molding on this one absolutely sucks. This does not want to stay in at all. Right, that's two of the arms done. Okay, now we're going to come over here to the pelvis that we have, and you want to find, so we've got the leg bones, and we've got this pelvis region. So you want to take the hip bone area that we have that was once the shoulder. You reach in there, you can find that there's a 5mm port. We're going to find that 5mm port with our finger, and then line that 5mm port up with this top of the section. Now you can do this either way. I prefer to connect it in so that there's these two little bits on the hip that kind of flay out to the sides. And I like to put them towards the back. So let's see if that works. You just plug that in, and then those bits that hang out to the sides are actually going to go on either side of the tail section and kind of stabilize it a bit. But I don't think that's actually how this works. Oh wait, no, I got it wrong. There it goes. All right. Sometimes this bit is hard to plug in because it needs to be so specifically done. There it goes. Is it in? Is it in? It's kind of in. Let's spin it around. I think it comes in actually easier on the other way. Maybe I had that wrong. So let's find that plug. There's that plug. Find it with your finger and then try to plug in the plug to the plug. All right, come on. There it goes. Hey, she's in there. She's in there nice and tight now. Okay, so the hips are now connected. Those little flangey bits you could put on either side, but I don't think you can by the way it's designed. So they just go like that. So flangey bits are facing forward. The bits that have the holes in them for flight stands and stuff, that bit is facing towards the tail. And I guess the tail is just there to hide it, which I really appreciate. There's not much waffling on this guy, and I like that. So now that we've done that, let's come over here to the arms, and we're going to work on the arm. Well, actually, before we work on the arms, let's get to this core section here. So where the head is actually the bottom of the rib cage, the bottom of the core. Where the hip plugged in was actually the top of the core of the guy, because right here you can feel our shoulder blades right above where the hip plugged in, and that's neat. So we're going to find those shoulder blades and then trace your fingers down, and you'll find that there's two 5mm pegs hidden in these shoulder blades. They're really close together. They're really close to the core, and they're just right there. They're really well hidden. Okay, so you find those pegs. You go to the opposite side where the vertebrae is tallest and the head is kind of poking out, and you'll find the plug that you plugged. There's a plug right there, a little 5mm peg. We're going to go ahead and plug that 5mm peg into the 5mm siege port to the peg sticking out at the end of the hip area. And now we got the back and the middle of a mastodon. So now what we do is we take the head of the mastodon and we're going to, or mammoth, and we're going to take and plug it in there. There we go. The head, I like this, that the head section has this, the port that comes out from it that you plug in has actually got vertebrae sculpted in, so that when you plug this in, it becomes part of the backbone, seamlessly almost. And that is really, really well done. The only part that seems to have a seam in this backbone is right here at the hip area. And that's just because of the joint. I just love that. I really appreciate the work that was put into that. So we're going to take these arms and those 5mm pegs I explained to you earlier. We're going to find them with the siege ports on the tops of each of these arms, and we're going to plug them in. Keep them upside down if you have loose bits like I do, so that they don't go flopping all over the place. And then that one gets plugged in, and now we're just going to make sure all these arms are lined up properly. Okay, all right, that one's done, and that one's good. And then these legs, there we go. Leg number 1 is complete, and leg number 2, perfect. Okay, now we're going to slightly bend these front legs. There we are. Okay, now we're going to flip him around, and hopefully nothing falls. Ah, darn it, something fell off. Okay, all right, there we go, and it's back into place. Cool. And oh, his back leg isn't down. Okay, there we go. There. Back leg's good. Front leg's good. Excellent. Head is good. Yeah, look at that. All right, now he's done. Thank you for watching Blind Builds with Blind Prime. Please tune in tomorrow for my Beast Mode review or Fossilizer review of Transformers Generations Wreck and Roll Collection Master-Dominus. Until next time, bye-bye for now.